I'm looking to build something for my children. So besides doing this, man, we got being an author. Gotta respond back. All good. We are celebrating.
Put up business, and we gonna stretch them and hit them. And we gonna stretch them and hit them. You know we gonna stretch them.
Always choose you.
Okay.
Not in a selfish way.
Uh-huh.
In a healthy way.
Yeah,
always choose you. You can't afford to lose you.
Okay. And I think you said this last time. Did it affect your creativity? Sun kiss. I'm just advertising people. Sun kiss.
Okay.
Sun kiss like
Since
so
we
rude.
advertise Vans.
Vans,
I mean, you know. Oh, Verb BTA.
Oh, there you go.
My friend, my bro and sis, they're line.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no.
Why yes and no?
Yes, because it gave me some material.
Okay. Correct.
It gave me some,
Correct.
And then no, because there were times where I just wasn't feeling creative. I was like, I just, flustered. So it was a little of both.
We used to use this thing like it's still a thing now. Like you gotta be mindful with artists, how you treat an artist, because you would end up in a piece.
Yeah.
You would end up in a song. Like I've written several songs. Before I got married, I put them out. The stuff I write now when I'm upset, I just write it, record, and leave with it.
I was gonna say you gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, I gotta go home. I gotta go home.
You gotta live with that.
This is how you feel, huh? Yeah, I don't want to do that whole conversation.
Yeah, and then in your case, you're married, so you gotta be careful because you feel like that right now, but it doesn't mean you'll always feel that way, and that's just that me venting at the moment. Yeah. Saying the stuff that I really didn't want to say to you because I don't disrespect you, but I had to get it out.
Correct.
Where,
I don't like taking no trash out.
Right. However,
I'm gonna take it out.
When you like me, you say what you want.
Yeah.
who gonna say something about it? I gotta say it. Because if you didn't want me to write about it, you shouldn't have did it.
Right.
Right.
No, that's great. That's what's always gotta be mindful of that. Now, so you do poetry. So for creative stuff, so besides that, right? Besides that, I would call that the basic stuff, not the basics. So we know poetry is so good. I think the first time I seen you really do something is when you made that video years ago, and I think you started getting like a bunch of views on it.
You know that thing ended up doing, it was like 4.6 million. I was shocked. Every now and then, because we took it down. Along with, I ended up going through this phase. And normally, I know it's going to be hard to believe, but I'm a very private person. And I think because I share stuff so candidly, people forget that I'm a private person. And that was like my first time really publicly being put on a platform.
Correct. That's when you first started out. Yeah.
Right. And I didn't put myself there. I was just kind of sat out there. Because even that first video, it was more on a dare. I had recorded on my phone. It was a little different then. I had recorded on my phone, and somebody close to me saw it. Okay, you don't put it out there. I'm gonna put it out there.
Yeah.
And when they did, it just started doing numbers. I was amazed that it even got like 100 views. And so we woke up one day later that week, and I'm like, what? So somebody else had uploaded it to their thing, and it just kept going. And it ended up getting so much. And then after that, I did a few others, and they got quite a few views too. Like we talking hundreds of thousands. I think one other one hit over the 1 million mark, and it got to be overwhelming. Because I'm like, you know what? Now I got inbox blowing up. People that know me, phone is blowing up, and everybody want advice on stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm learning. I'm just sharing what I know because what I do every day. I don't know, and it was overwhelming at first. It was a lot for me, and then I was also going through a lot of personal struggles at that time, behind the scenes, trying to rebuild my life. So it just got to be a bit much, and then it's got to be emotionally and mentally draining.
I can see that. Because that you know, for what we do, that comes with it, right? People say it like, well, it don't take all of that. But it does though, because you literally are putting your life into this, right? And as far as like in my case, like I'm putting so much of myself in this, and then I got to also get myself over to my family.
Yes.
And then I still got to get myself over to the other IT stuff I do too. So my other trades I have. So you put so much out there, then one day you're flustered, and that takes effect. Like all the things, like it's. I had to get to the point where I knew all of this was me. I was one. Because at one point, so like probably you probably think like, well, this is one part of me, and this is another version of me. This is another version of me. This is the private me, right? But when you grow to that place, saying like, well, all of this is me, it changes it a little. But I can see that because I remember when Black Nerd Ninja first kicked off, and the phone started ringing.
See, now the phone's quiet again though, so I'm good.
Yeah.
But it was more so overwhelming with you get people pulling.
Yeah.
Just pulling, because when you're able to connect with people on such a real level, you don't realize how many people out there are looking for a voice.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Or to be able to say, okay, finally I don't feel alone. So you're getting people, Gene. I mean, there was stuff that used to break me down in my inbox. I'm getting paragraphs from people. There was some guy from some country I had never heard about. I looked it up. It's literally across the world.
Yeah.
And he said to me, I just wanted you to know that because of you today, I didn't commit suicide. I wanted you to know that you helped add another day to somebody's life and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God, and here I am thinking, I'm just sharing common sense stuff. I'm just, half the time I'm joking, and then another girl, telling me her sad story, and this, and because I love people and I love to love on people, but because of that, sometimes I tend to take people's stuff on as my own.
Correct. Yep. And
I think that was the most overwhelming part, and it was like, I need to take a break.
Yeah.
And then you had the other part where there were people reaching out. We want to market you, we want to brand you, want to do this, and first of all, I wasn't trying to do that, and I don't need somebody trying to turn me into something or somebody, or package me and present me to the world. I wanted the space to just be myself. I didn't want I didn't want to be like, I guess, a brand. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, you don't want to be a brand like Black Nerd Ninja.
I wanted to still be able to be spontaneous. I wanted to, if I wanted to wake up and be silent today and not say anything to anybody, I wanted to be able to do that. I didn't want to feel scripted or coerced. Or trying to, because one person was like, well, I need you to create this much content, and then that way. No, wait a minute, when did this become a thing? Like, I like to share as I go. Yeah. I don't want to feel like I'm not being authentic or original. Correct. I don't want to feel like I'm just making up stuff to give people.
Correct. Yeah, correct. For that video style you did, yeah. So for like something like what I do, I know it's required. I should be creating 24/7. But I'm private too, so I don't like to share everything I create, like stuff I do with the kids, stuff like I know I should be sharing all that stuff, but I don't want to because that's valuable to me. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be valuable to them when they get older.
But I try to put a few things out there, but as far as like to reach a certain level on the different platforms, you have to be consistent to that level, and then like the style you were doing it at. Like that's one of the styles where you have to literally put videos out 24/7, right? And so it does take away from the.
Could, but it just didn't feel real.
Yeah.
It felt like, okay, what am I gonna give people today?
Correct.
I don't know. I guess maybe blame it on me just kind of being rebellious in nature anyway. Well, that's the word that's been used to describe me a lot. I just don't like for somebody to put me in a little. So it's like, no, don't try to. Okay, what's the breed doing today? No, let me. Be me. I just like to be original.
Yeah, you want to. So essentially, you just want to grow organically, like almost how you're doing it now. Every now and again, you'll put one up in, because I do remember that. I remember that one. Then you did a few of them after that. They were pretty consistent, and then, but then I started seeing your events, started seeing coming out to events and whatnot. So I watched the growth of it. Like, okay, this is pretty cool. Because me personally, I like seeing new. Artists and new people getting into that space where everything's new for them. I think I told you this before, where everything's new because you can see them actually enjoying the moment. Like when we did, what was it? Rabbit Talk? Was that?
Rabbit Box.
Rabbit Box. When we did.
That was fun. That was my first time doing something like that. Shout out to the person who invited me to do that.
Yeah, like you literally, like you just said, you literally enjoyed the moment, right? And it's.
Were you nervous? I was nervous.
When it comes to, I wasn't. When it comes to talking, when it comes to just talking, I'm not nervous, but I just don't like it. I don't like because I feel like if it's not rappers, I feel like I really have nothing to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But then you get to talk to people, get to tell your story, like, oh, that's weird, you know? Yeah, I think that night I talked about when I first met my wife.
Oh, it was
hilarious.
Yeah,
but it's like that's true though. That's really what happened. It took me 2 hours to realize she was coming on to me. Like,
but see, those are the best stories though, the ones that are original and that you're not trying to fabricate to entertain people. And that's why I'm leery of there's quite a few speakers that I follow, but sometimes I'm leery of people who always have something to say, because I'm like, in real life sometimes we're quiet, we don't always have something, you know, and you're not always learning a lesson. You know, sometimes you're in a rest period, sometimes, you know, you're in a quiet period, sometimes you're in a meditative state. So it's just not, I don't know, I just like you said, I like organic things, and it's easy to discern for me now when somebody's being organic or when it's like, okay, I gotta light up for the stage, you know, I gotta flip the switch and turn on. Like, you're not always on.
Yeah, come out. Some people, I think like we're both like, I like organic, right? But then I have friends who like structure, so they like that whole formula. Like, here's what I do it like this. Because I actually used to run Black Nerd Ninja like that. I had everything set to where I had videos already lined up, and I already had them scheduled to come out. But it wouldn't. So everything was lined up, but me personal side of me, I really didn't care for, because I felt like I was making up stuff. But I knew that's what comes with running my brand. And so I don't think it's a good or bad thing.
So how do you balance that? So during the times where it's plentiful, because like talking is what I do, but I do also have very silent periods, and people that know me probably are like, you know, but so I feel like during the times of abundance where I have a lot of words and I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of wisdom to share, you know, I think there are times that I've recorded things that just haven't released. So I think it's a good idea to do that. Is that how you balance? Like, so when you are in your less creative space, you then go back to when you were abundant and pull from that? Yeah, I mean, because essentially that's how pretty much, like, all the names you name, that's pretty much how they run it. They record, like, so I used to record, like, I take 2 or 3 days to record and then edit, and then like by that Friday or Saturday, the first round of stuff would be ready to go. So drop something on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like, so I had lined up like that. But I record a bunch of stuff. But then when that next week came around, I got to do the same thing over again. So I got to record a bunch of stuff, do the same thing. And so for me, it's just I was on it, but then I was like, I don't want to do this. That's it. But because I can do it with my own brand, right? I was like, I don't want to do this. I'll just post every now and again, call it, and do something like that, because it didn't feel real to me. It felt like I was just trying to be seen, and that's not. And that's being seen is not necessarily a good thing. You know what I'm saying? No. So yeah. And then you get the people that expect you to just always like, no, don't, you know. Yeah, especially with rap, man. I was in Walmart one time. I kid you not. I was just pushing my buggy, and this guy comes up to me like, let me rap some bars for you. I was like, I knew it. I was like, man, I was like, we in Walmart, bro. Like, this ain't the time and place for that. Like, nah, let me just give you these bars. I was like, I really don't care about your bars right now. They dropped trying to get dinner from my family.
Right?
Trying to get home.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And then like, even like me and like, even it still amazes the kids, like, when we're out and people say, hey, what's up, Black Nerd Ninja? And like, we're here or at the cons or whatnot. It still amazes them, but to me, I've yet to get used to it. With the fact that a few people know, I'm not gonna say a bunch of people, a few people know me, right? To the like, few strangers know me, and so it takes some getting used to be in a space where you just enjoying the moment, and then like, I'm not even talking about like I went to a few of the cons in Atlanta, and just, hey, Black Nerd Ninja, hey. like it still takes some getting used to, you know. So yeah. Now is the energy easier with other creatives as opposed to followers or fans? Like, have you ever had other creatives or rappers or whatever come up to you and be like, hey, oh no, you know what I'm saying? Or is that more just people who don't, who are not a part of the craft? It's more people who are truly fans of it. There's more true fans of it. But they keep it simple though. Most time when you meet other artists, it's more that whole rhetoric, hey, let's work. But in your head, you're like, well, we don't even sound like, we don't have anything that like there's not. See, it has to make sense for me to work with someone, right? Because I have such a different style, so it has to make sense. And I get why people want to work together, and I get all that. But I'm not just because you're hot, I'm not gonna call you up and say, "Hey, get on this."
See, I admire that.
Because it won't make sense.
Yeah.
It'll literally be like, "Oh, I'm calling you up because I know you're hot right now. It's coming," and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, it has to make sense for me to do that because I feel like I'm just wasting your time. Because I'm gonna hand you something weird, you can be like, "What's this?"
What's that? Yeah, we've never done that before.
We gotta talk about what? No.
Yeah.
Nerd stuff? No.
But I mean, I don't know. I like to see collaborations with people who you never thought would match.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that goes so well. You're like, oh my God, that's,
Yeah. I mean, but to a certain degree, it has to make sense too.
Yeah.
Like, it has to make sense.
Yes.
Like, that's overall. So, like, you look for a feature or whatnot. You can be a fan of someone and let's like gangster rap. You're trying to do a feature with gangster rap. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's the beautiful thing about art, though. It could work depending. Like, it has to be, structured the right way.
Yeah. I mean, I got one like that. Well, we did it, but I had to come from the way I had to approach it was from more of a observation. So my flow is my content is more observation, and then I let everybody else handle the more hardcore stuff. But it's truly just me as a fan when I work with this artist. So I mean, we can have it, but like I say, it just gotta make sense overall. You have to be a fan of someone, or it has to be either a business move, or it has to be some type of team behind it, or you're gonna get some people together.
So in that case, like with the collaboration you just did you choose that, or did they reach out to you?
I reached out to them. It's a team I worked with before. Reached out to them. Yeah.
I don't know. People is something else.
And you say, so y'all took the videos down? See,
I did. Let's see. That one you were talking about. That one, and it seems like I don't remember how many, but it seemed like tons of them.
And you just had them on Facebook,
That
right?
was back in 14, 15. I had a whole YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah, I would do them on YouTube, and I would also do on Facebook. And that was before the live feature.
Okay.
I would just upload them to both. And then I think maybe for about a year or so, I did that. That was end of 14, beginning of 15.
Yeah.
And halfway through 15, the end of 15, I just decided to just scrub my channel clean and my page clean, and I tried to go back to being just normal Debria.
Okay.
And then I started getting reached out to, like, hey, when you gonna do some more whatever? And I'm like, I was hoping I forgot about it because they disappeared. I'm sitting in urgent care one day with my baby, and it's urgent care, so it was an urgent matter, and I'm sitting there focused on my child who was only like 6 at the time, and this lady, she kept looking at me, keep staring at me.
Yeah.
You're the girl I saw on the thing, and you was mad about something, girl. You was telling them, and I'm like, okay. So look, can I talk to you about something? I believe that we should talk about this, and I would love to. Ma'am, do you see me rocking my baby? He's inconsolable right now, and it was just during that period. I was like, okay, I've had it. I'm just gonna scrub everything clean. I'm trying, I just didn't want that part of it because again, I didn't want my intimate space breached. I'm like, you just had no regard for. My baby laying here in my lap crying and burning up and going through the urgent matter, and just no apologies, nothing. No. I mean, and I'm going to the back and she's still trying to talk. The nurse and I called her, so I'm like,
I know.
Yeah, so, and I was like, maybe this isn't for me.
But it's one thing, you have to build it up. Like, you have to structure to the point where you have safeguards in place. So that's what I've always done. So I have like different layers to me. Like everybody gets a different layer, right? And if you ask, when people come to shows, they see the Eugene at the merch table, right? Quiet, don't say much, nice, polite, whatever the case may be. Then they see Latin and Ninja on stage, boom, boom. And then off stage, we wrap up, right? If we're on the road, we do our meet and greets, and then we get back on the road, So I put a structure in place to where we can sit down and talk a little bit, once we're done, and we got to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that way, when you're not in that mode or not in that space, people will just wave, right? And it won't be over. Because I've had I've had those conversations where they come up to you and they kept lingering on. Like me and Aiden been together several times. Me and some friends been together, like, and they just, do you know? I was like, I don't know.
Wow.
But yeah, just have to create that put that
boundaries.
safeguards up. And plus, I don't present myself like I'm friendly.
Maybe that's my issue then. I love people, and I appreciate anybody that want to listen to anything I gotta say. I mean, y'all hear me? Okay, all right, you know.
I appreciate everybody.
Right, like, I love people, but I think sometimes people don't realize. Look, I got real life just like you.
Yeah.
I was just talking about my real life. Like, can I, like, we all need a moment to just, loose off.
GT Money has said all the time. He said people know, but they just don't like approaching you. I was like, he said you're not the friendliest person.
No.
He said,
You've always been friendly to me, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm friendly, but
I'm just saying, I don't even see you as.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe I always just catch you at the right moments.
No, it's that. I mean, it's never been like we never, like, every time we see each other, it's like in passing or we're at an event and you hanging out. I mean, it's simple. We keep it simple. But once you but once you start like going on and on,
Gotcha.
then that's when you start losing me, because I really don't, because I can be at the house with that. Got kids involved.
I'm not even gonna touch that.
I got kids involved with that type of dialogue.
Right.
You want to go on and on? I ain't trying to do all that now. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's all good. I enjoy it, and I appreciate everybody who comes out, who supports what I do, and who supports the movement. So I mean, I'm appreciative of it. It's just time. Once again, time, place for everything. So I think I do a good job at setting those boundaries with that part of it. But I mean, that's what you gotta do, though. But plus, like I said, I build it up like that, though.
So did you start, like, okay, me for instance, I guess anything that I do, I didn't do it for a fan base. More so for me, it was just a passion. It's just something I said I want to do. It was almost like a bucket list thing. Something I've always wanted to do.
Yeah, you can tell that when you first kicked off.
And I still feel that way.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it for people. I don't care if nobody watches. If I upload something, get 0 views, I'm fine with that. I just like that that I'm doing something I want to do.
Okay.
Did you start off with the intention of eventually I want to build a fan base, and I want to have followers, or I want a lot of people to hear my music, or
Yeah, at the beginning, back in high school. You know what I'm saying? Now I think it's to generate consistent revenue.
Okay.
So you get 1%, but that's not really money driven. That's just more of when I'm dead and gone, checks still roll into the family, because it's gonna be independent.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's my whole goal now.
Creating a legacy.
Creating a legacy.
Cool.
So that way, because Black No Ninjas is not designed for just me to hold the mantle. It's designed for like someone say, "Hey, Eugene, I want to keep Black No Ninjas going." Okay, cool. They can take up the mantle. That's truly what it's designed for. So that way, they can book their own shows just on the Black No Ninja brand, because it's consistently been touring throughout the years.
Okay.
We only stopped touring for a year. That was 2020.
And that's just because of
that's COVID.
stuff,
And I still did a few things, I think, through 2020, but not like what we used to. But yeah, we still did like a few things. But yeah.
How do you deal with being away when you're touring?
You asking that on camera, huh?
Okay. Do we need to not? Because we cannot.
It gets harder and harder. It gets harder and harder because because the kids, right, and the wife, right. It gets harder and harder. I didn't think when they were young, I didn't think I would ever feel like how I feel when I have to leave. Because usually, like, man, you gotta work. Because to me, it's a job. It's work. It's something we've been waiting for years, and we found a position to be able to go on the road, be able to do all these things, to be able to get these phone calls, be able to make our own phone calls and book on shows. So that was the goal, right? But now it's like, but you waited till you had 3 kids and a wife.
But I don't know. Maybe that's something that also comes with age too, because I notice now. I just celebrated another birthday yesterday, and I was just sitting there the day before. What was yesterday? Can't remember the day. Today's Friday. yesterday, Thursday was my birthday. Wednesday, my baby girl was home from overseas and she left to go back after being here for 2 weeks. And when she left, it hit me again. My baby being other than video chat, and then my birthday hit the next day, and I'm realizing, these are the things that are important to me. Whereas in my younger years, had I been doing something like this in my younger years, I would have been okay. Like, come and go, whatever. Now I'm more mindful of, it feels good to come home to somebody who cares about us. It feels good. Like, I never thought that I would produce somebody that talks more than I did. But my youngest does. Oh my God, you can get last. But when I tell you, when I'm away from home, not even for just because I'm nowhere near where you are. I feel like I'm just now picking back up again because I've learned some stuff. So if it gets to where I want it to be eventually, it's going to be hard for me to imagine being separated from my babies, because even now, like when I leave to go to work or to do something, or even if sometimes I'll take a little road tripping, but when I come home, I'm so happy to hear that little boy talk like, I am so happy for the teenager to get on my nerves. Like, it's just, I'm like, oh my God, he's bumping his music. Thank you, Lord. Like, oh my God, he won't stop talking. He's at the bathroom door, his lips on the door. Yes, but now, it matters more. I'm not trying to run away from it. Now it's more I'm running to it. Like, where they at. And I understand now. I went to see a guitarist. Awesome guy. He was here at the fountain. I don't know if I should say his name or not. AJ Gent, but okay. A friend of mine, she drove up and she bought some tickets and she took me there, and I had never heard of him before then. But what I most admire now, he's still. To me, I liken him to what Sheila E does on the drums. He does on the guitar.
Okay.
Like, he's amazing. I had never heard of him. But what I admired most was his family was with him.
Yeah.
His wife, and I want to say he had 2 children.
Don't mess the man life up.
Yeah, I ain't gonna mess
the
it.
man
But
life.
I saw babies with him. That's all I know. And then
Somebody was up in the balcony. What?
no, it was his wife and kids, and he shouted them out and everything.
Yeah.
Very honorable man.
Yep.
But the littlest one had on the headphones to kind of block out all the noise. But his mom was there. She was at the merch table. I almost want to say either his dad or his uncle was there, and I just thought it was so amazing that his family was there with him. And he talked about in between one of the sets, he talked about how his family travels with him, and he was so grateful that they could afford to, and that's what kept him grounded. And I just think that is so amazing when you can incorporate your family into what you do.
Like, I've just started bringing the kids up here to the studio when I record podcasts and shows. But when Aiden was small, when the touring really picked up, like he was just born, and Maya was like 3, and so I would be at shows. I would distinctly remember this show in Knoxville.
You have the best stories. You just have the best stories.
Because so in Knoxville, in Knoxville, we just got to perform as me and LG, Heart of the City, HOTC, and LG's on stage backing up Iffy and them. So Iffy's the big homie that first got us touring, and so I'm working the merch table. I'm playing my position. I'm working the merch table. So I'm at the merch table just working, selling stuff. We selling their stuff. We selling our stuff. And so as a brief moment comes up, I'm sitting there and I got like a little moment. I'm sitting there. I'm on my phone and I'm looking at pictures of the kids and the wife. And this lady walks up, and I was like, "Hey, here's my baby." She's like, "Okay." How much are t-shirts? I said, I think they're $20 because of the Iffy shirts. I said, I think they're $20, but I said, here go another picture right here. I said, we can with that one. This lady like, man. Right. This lady like, give me 2 shirts so I can go about my business, please.
That's when you get extra crafty with your marketing. Well, I won't show you this third picture of my baby if you go ahead and buy a hat too.
But I was legit sitting there just looking at pictures. Just looking at pictures. Looking at, and then my big ass sister came to the one we did at Caledonia. I think it was.
Did you say your big ass?
Big ass sister. I call it big head.
Oh my
Okay, Big K came and
She's
she
so talented.
look, she walked up and she walked the mid when I was like doing this,
Mm-hmm.
and she like, why are you showing pictures of your family here? Don't nobody want to see them pictures in here.
I don't see your kids.
She get like, see, you're supposed to be in rap mode. What you doing?
But they're an extension of me. I'm missing them right now.
But I live just in the showing pictures, man. But it's part of who you
But that's also
are.
a way for people to connect with you on a different level, though. You know?
No, they don't connect.
You.
They don't connect.
I don't know, but I get that sometimes. You know, when
Like, it probably makes sense, like in your world, showing picture, right?
people like, oh, what's going on with this one or that one? Because sometimes I get a little defensive, like, you know, a little too much
Right.
about mine, because I don't be sharing all that. How you know all that? You know.
And see, my wife is the main one that was sharing the stuff on social media. I really don't share. Like I said, I cherish those photos and whatnot. So I don't share them like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just keep them to myself. But yeah.
I pick and choose. I lightly share when it comes to my kids. Like my oldest daughter, she's very adamant. Don't be putting me up on there. Don't be putting me and my kids, some grandbabies. Don't be putting me and my babies up there. You know, because I had somebody reach out to me one time. We never see pictures of your older because it's not your business. It's not for you to see.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's by her request, and I respect. You know, her wanting that privacy or whatever, because she's like, Mama, it's people that don't even know me sending me friend requests, and you would think, because like I said, I'm on such a small scale. I'm like, you wouldn't think people would do that, but you have so many people that kind of overstep their bounds. Listen, sir, ma'am, my child don't know you. Why would you, you know? And I get real mama bearish. But see, that was another reason too why I just scrub stuff clean, because when people started coming my way, I realized it put them in a certain position, and I'm like, I don't want them to feel, because they didn't ask for that.
Correct.
All they know mama.
Yeah,
they don't care about anything else you might be doing. So that was another reason why I took some time, because I wanted them to be able to grow up a little more in transition and have more of a voice as to what they do and don't want to be a part of. Because I had people offer me certain stuff that would include them, and I'm like, you know, just no. You know, I want it to be their choice if they did that.
Correct. And that, I mean, that's the same way how I approach it. Like, because it goes against my core for me to make a decision for someone. Like, because I've been through that, and I know I didn't like it, so I know somebody else won't like it, type deal. So it violates my core. So even when it comes to them, man, I really try to keep them in a space where they can just be kids. And then even with my wife, keep my wife in the space where she ain't got to worry about the internet beating me home and somebody done said something crazy.
Right.
You know, as far as like,
and that's so honorable, because so many people don't do that.
Let me tell you something. Doing shows with single people, having single people.
I'm sure you have seen a lot. It's like, okay, I'm gonna let y'all do that over there. I'm gonna call my wife, so just in case the internet beat me home, baby, I was on the phone with you. That's my alibi. Not only was we on the phone, we was on FaceTime. You saw me.
You saw me.
I was with you. I don't know what they did.
I used to tell GT Money all the time that this internet gonna beat me home every time. It's gonna beat me home every time. He be the main one. I won't put him on blast, guys.
Please don't.
I know he loving. This is years ago, but we'll do the last song, and every time he'll bring young ladies on stage. They'll dance, and we end it with a big bang, boom, 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 on top of stuff. Everybody clap. Then we gotta do meet and greet afterwards. And he'll sit down and like he'll take pictures with him, because he's single. He was single at the time. He'll take a picture with him, loving all over him.
And then women are attracted to that type thing.
Right. They young lady said, can I sit in your lap? I said, no ma'am. I said, I'll stand beside you and take this picture, but I'm not sitting, you're not sitting in my lap, because what not for the happen is.
What you're not gonna do,
I said, I gotta go
is
home.
have me trying to explain later why this lady was in my lap.
Right.
Yeah.
No, so I said, I stand beside you. Now we can stand right here. Right here, your arms right there. My arms gonna be right here.
And ain't nothing touching.
Ain't nothing touching.
Nothing touching. Nope.
Now, if you want to buy some merch, thank you. If you don't want to buy it, thank you. But what we not for do is, because I gotta go home to that lady.
But that is so honorable, though. A lot of people don't have that self-control. They don't have. And then I think it also speaks to, and this is again nothing against the single people, because I think you single enjoy that. But sometimes that plays into people having an overinflated sense of self, like over importance. It's like, oh, I'm gonna take advantage of this because I'm important, you know. And it's like but having that self-control says a lot about your character, just in general. It's like, I know what's good for me.
No, I like sleep. You already know how y'all do. So you figure you just ride out. You up in Tennessee. Doing what you want to do, huh?
You're like, look, can we talk about this in the morning? I'm tired.
You damn.
I just got in here. Like, you wasn't tired. You was posing with people in your lap.
Right.
Was you tired sitting on your lap?
See, I like peace and I like sleep.
Are you trying to sleep? And you wake up, you feel somebody looking at you, she like this.
Well, ain't gonna be no sleep. Ain't gonna be no sleep. She like, so let me get this straight. You know how y'all do. Let me get this straight. You figure you single when you get on this road, huh? Like, nah, they ain't nowhere there, babe.
Do I need to start traveling with you so they know?
Oh no,
matter of fact, you wear a t-shirt with my face on.
Traveling with travel be shut down. Where you going? Nowhere. everything will be a virtual show.
That's right. Yes, that is right. Keep it locked down. But I mean, right.
But I mean, Dick Gregory said
best. Don't play fair. They don't.
I know you will. Dick Gregory said
some people,
best.
you say, I'm married. They see that as a challenge instead of a boundary. I'm like, oh, sis, calm down. Leave the man alone.
That don't happen to me at all.
I'm glad.
I'm glad
because that's a fight you don't want. Because some people are just aggressive. I've seen it.
You seen it?
I'm embarrassed by it when I see it. Like, sis, you just not representing us well at all. Can you? The man said he married. Like, that's, you know how many faithful men who say they married, like, you know they mean it, because it's a lot of otherness out here, and it's like they just whatever. But for the man to tell you he don't want you to sit down, leave the man alone. They see it as a challenge as opposed to a boundary to respect, and I don't like that at all.
I don't want those problems.
You don't need them.
I don't want the problems. I can keep I can't even do it.
I love it.
I can't do it. See, I'm realistic with me. I'm realistic because I play it like okay. Let's say you do something crazy. Okay, so that's 2 seconds. Then you get up, and then you gotta go.
You blew your whole life up for them 2 little seconds.
And let's say she don't say that she don't find out. Let's say she don't say that she don't find out. You still
carrying the weight of that.
You still living with you.
You carrying the weight of that, and it gets heavier every day.
Yes, I can't do it. I've been told myself because I'm just that transparent with myself.
I'm that personality type. Look, okay, so I did a thing. I ain't proud of it. Oh my gosh, you're probably gonna break up with me, but I gotta tell you because I just can't carry that because just who I am. I'm such I try to be such a genuine person. Yeah. I can't stand lies. I can't stand being lied to. So I just can't. And I like to think before I do so. Even if it's just a split second. Now, do I want to have to answer for this later? Then no, I'm just going to chill.
Correct. See, that's how I think.
And then I got kids. So certain stuff get out. Now my kids looking at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, you trying to teach us this. And you out here doing that.
And see, that's what we forget. That's what we forget. Like, your life won't, your decision won't just affect, I'm not calling it a bad decision, but your decision won't affect just you, but it's affect your whole family, right? So my decision is, if I make a poor decision in the moment, it's not just going to affect me. I got to explain to 4 or 5 different people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then their family is going to be affected by that. You know, so it's not just you, it's the person that you would have been involved in.
Yeah, we talking about breaking all this different stuff. I'm keeping. So you got, like, for a lot of us, I know for a lot of the men who are loyal and really trying to stay focused and really trying to stay on the agenda, a lot of us are trying to break a lot of generational curses and generational bad behavior, and just because, like, on both sides of my family, even if on my wife's family, there's always that uncle who's with 4 or 5 women. There's always that
somebody's got all these outside
kids. Got outside kids out. And I told myself at a young age, I never wanted that. I wanted one house because I seen what they did in one house. So I say I want one family. I don't want all these other families. I want one family.
Or all these secrets that come out after the mother or the father dies. Because, you know, I'm dealing with a situation similar to where something comes out after my mom died. I'm like, wait, what? You know? And like you said, I didn't want that for my children. So it's like, I'm transparent about things, and there's certain things I don't do because it will lead to that type of situation.
Yeah, some doors you just don't need to open within yourself. Yeah. Some doors you need shut. You know, so I try to be mindful of that, and just being in that creative space. I know the saying is like, man, just let everything flow. No, I could like to control my space to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about, hey, letting creativity flow out, but if creativity flowing too much, and now we introducing things that's changing the creativity and changing the mood, and now we're starting to, because I believe that anything can happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say in the studio recording, we got a bunch of people here, now we introducing, because it's always gonna be something that you've had before. So they bring alcohol, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they bring something sweet, right? And they say, well, you can be a taste. Okay, I'll drink a little bit of it, and then you know what I'm saying. So that one decision will begin the next decision, Then next thing you know, I'm on the couch right here, waking up trying to figure out how I got naked.
Yeah.
What happened?
And who is this person?
Who's this person inside me?
And then you don't even remember. Now I gotta be accountable for what I did, and I don't even remember what.
Don't even remember what I did, but you just know you did something. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta be mindful of that, even though we're creatives. That we still gotta be accountable, responsible. That when we are in our creative space, that we are there to create. We're not there trying to. Because a lot of times people just want to emulate what they think the creativity comes from, right? So I'm gonna introduce. Today's recording is brought to you by Starbucks. Halloween kills as we get ready for it. Yeah. Introduce some type of substance. I'm introduce some type of device or some vice.
You know, a lot of creatives do use those things.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's another reason why there have been offers to work with certain people and do certain things, and I just kind of declined.
Yeah.
Because it was like I just know I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, that's always been a thing.
In that space, and I didn't want to put myself in a certain position.
Correct.
You know.
Yeah. Like I don't allow people to smoke when I'm recording or when I'm working with them. Because for me, it's kryptonite for me. It's not because I'm against you smoking with it. For me, it's kryptonite. Me, I like being in control, but it lowers. You know what I'm saying? Lowers my guard down. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like, hey man.
That's why I don't do a lot of stuff because I don't like to not feel like I got to control myself.
Yeah.
I don't like it, especially like alcohol.
Yeah. Alcohol.
I don't need to feel like every now and then I might have a little light something like a mixed drink of frozen or something, but it's still just like maybe 1 or 2 sips. It's gotta be dinner, so it's with food. It's more so for the taste, like alcohol, like heavy liquor. No, because I don't like.
You got the hand in your cup.
No, too much for me. I don't see how people do it. It's just I'm such a lightweight, and I guess I'm just square. I don't know, but it's just the time that I try. You know, when you're young, you try stuff because people hype drinking up so much, and I tried it, and I was like, so this is what I don't like this feeling. What is this? What? Why? No, I can't do this. And then double whammy. I'm sneaking. I was underage. Sneaking, didn't know no better. I'm drinking brown, white, whatever come across.
You mixing now.
When I tell you, I was sick almost the whole week and could not. I just had to walk around with the stuff in my system. That's the worst kind of sick ever. I'm like, yeah, no, not me. You know, you hear a lot of people say, God, you let me sober, but I won't do it again. I really meant it. Like, if I could just take this feeling away. Just imagine being sick on the pit of your stomach. I think it was like 3-4 days, and then it was summertime. I still got to go to school. I got to go to work, and then I got to look my mama in the face. You know, I'm a teenager. I'm sick.
She know you lit.
It's probably seeping through my pores. Probably just stink. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. It doesn't. I don't mix well.
And and cashed out.
But the worst part was during the intoxication part of it. I didn't have control. But like I didn't like that floating in between myself and not myself.
Were you did it make you like were you agitated? Were you like what was the emotions? Like you just
I'm a really emotional person anyway. But I can usually control my emotions when I'm in my normal state. Like, I could be mad and you wouldn't know, unless it's about my kids. I could be mad and you wouldn't even know it.
Yeah.
But I think it was twice where I tried it. That particular time, I loved everybody. Oh, I love you so much.
You one of those. You hugging everybody.
Yeah.
You were hugging everybody.
But like every emotion that I had, it was coming out. Yeah. And then, if you had ever did something to me, I had to tell you, it really hurt my feelings when you said, and I'm like,
confessing.
yeah. I'm I'm like, this ain't for me.
Yeah,
and then the second time I tried, I was older. I was of age then. It was actually my 21st birthday. I had some stuff going on, and I was angry.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't take it out on anybody, but I remember feeling really dark and really, and I'm like, look, I know some stuff in life has been bad, but it ain't that bad. Like, I'm in the middle of being drunk, and I'm like, I ain't supposed to be mad. Like, this is some crazy. I feel like I'm going over the edge.
Yeah.
What is this?
So your emotions were all over the place.
Heightened, I guess.
Yeah, heightened. Yeah.
Like I said, I was frustrated in life anyway, because I'm a college student, I'm a young mother, and I was transitioning, trying to move back home. It was just a lot, and I was angry about some things.
Correct. And that just.
But it was even beyond. Listen, and I'm not even trying to turn this into a lesson or nothing. But you know how they call alcohol spirits and whatnot. There's a reason for that. Correct. Because I felt this dark spirit just come over me, and when I tell you, there was a certain level of darkness that I know on my own I'm not even capable of, because I don't even have that kind of heart, that came over me, and it scared me sober. It was like, I'm just trying to have fun, I'm a little lit, and I'm giggling. I'm like, okay, it's not so bad after all. And then this darkness came over me. What is this? I'm literally talking to myself. I'm sitting at the bar with friends. We were at a place, and I'm talking to myself. Girl, you don't be mad like this. What is this? This is not you. You know.
You were talking to a spirit.
And they looking at me like, "Bria, you okay?" No, I'm not, honey. I need to eat something. We need to order something, because this ain't. I can't go through the night like this. Yeah, I just knew it felt very otherworldly.
Yeah, it felt like
it wasn't natural. It wasn't normal, and it was extremely dark. And I remember feeling my hair stand up on my arm, like it was just this whole thing. And I'm like, no. Yep. God, you ain't got to keep telling me. Right. This ain't for me. I'm good on that. Thank you. Thank you, him. That's the last time you got to tell me that.
But that's what happens. Like, even with being crazy, it's like, you hear people talk about all the time. I just felt something came over me. So essentially, you just open that door up.
Pretty much.
So as believers know, there's the parable that says, once you move the enemy out, like once the demons get cleared out or whatever the case may be, right, you got to put something else in there. So in this case, once you drop your guard down and your guards start coming down, then you move so focused on the negativity, something came in and just hiding there. So you know what, I can help with that. You know what I'm saying? But then you're like, no, this isn't. See, I did the opposite. I embraced it, because I was already angry, like consistently. I was like consistent, already angry. So I just kept embracing it, and then kept going with it, and kept creating from anger. And once I started, I think Charlie said best. Once I met Jess, I had to change that, and I had to start creating from love. So that changed the music, that changed everything about it. But a lot of people say, like, will tell me, like, before Jess, like, the music was really angry, because I was in a dark place, because I embraced the darkness, right? And then once I met Jess, they said the music became more lovable, became more. Because that's really when Black Ninja popped off, just when I met her.
Have you listened to your old music and compared it to Life After Jess?
No,
or like with Jess?
I ain't got to. I know what I said.
I know what I said.
I wrote a song about. Oh wow, that's just so fun. I wrote a song about, you know I hate you, yeah, I hate you so much right now. You like, I had a lot. Yeah, I was dark.
Okay, gotcha.
I was dark. Yeah, it was dark. But then Jess, I did.
But see what the right queen will do for your life.
Look at that.
She'll come in and she'll bring all the love and the light and all the stuff you thought you weren't capable of, and now you're like, okay, all right,
Yeah, no.
You're like, whatever.
No, but I could. What you see now is all because of her. I would never take credit for that, because I didn't start touring until I met her. My career as a IT profession that started growing until I met her, because she was like, yeah, you can do it. Now don't be taking all these folks on the road now, they need to hold their weight. But
there's so much truth to that saying. I think I've heard guys say, oh, you just a simp, when guys say, no, I owe everything to the woman. But it is so true that
everything to her.
The woman that a man connects with makes a huge difference. It plays a big part, because I've seen some men hook up with some women and then their life just from there, you know, it makes a difference. The energy somebody carries and what they bring into your life, what you're connecting to, which is, like I said earlier in our conversation, any relationship, even working relationships, it's just certain things that just never felt right to me before. certain collaborations people wanted to do, and there was one I agreed to, and it just never could come together, and I didn't understand because I'm like, this person's real dope, and I would love to. And then later, I saw something go on with them, and I'm like, okay.
That's why you gotta let it unravel.
Yeah, sometimes you don't understand. Like, God, why is this not? That's not fair. It seems like a good thing.
I don't force nothing.
But it makes sense now.
I don't force. Once you've been doing it as long as I don't force. I got to the point where I don't force nothing.
Them red flags I told you about earlier.
Yeah,
it was at the.
It was.
You don't force that.
I don't force
Let that be it. That's it. And that's all.
You show up. You don't. It's all, like I'm good with whatever, but I don't force anything because I learned it the hard way and found myself in some compromising positions because I kept trying to force. I kept trying to force things to happen. So I don't force. Creative wise, I don't force nothing. If I don't want to do it, I don't do it. You gonna show up? I ain't showing up. You gonna take that trash out? I ain't gonna take the trash out. Somebody gonna take it out.
Just not me.
Not me.
Yeah.
As I grab trash. Not me. I'm gonna walk into the door. That's what I'm gonna do.
But that's such an important part of an important life lesson in general. The art of saying no.
Yep.
And that no is a complete sentence. And there's a period behind that, and I don't owe you anything after that. Yeah. It's just no. I don't have to give you an explanation. If I say no, it's because it's not the best thing for me. But I don't have to tell you that. It's a complete sentence. Leave it where it is.
So I do have that problem.
I have.
I can see you.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
But I have. I'm a reformed and still reforming people pleaser.
Because once again, I don't come off as someone you want to stop. I don't come off as somebody you want to stop and talk to, unless you really know me. Right? Unless you had some type of encounter with me. I just don't come off like, oh, let me just stop.
Now, I, on the other hand, will be minding my business. Literally, the other day in the Dollar Tree, random stranger, I'm trying not to make eye contact with anybody because I'm just so not in the mood. No? People speaking, hey, come on, hurry up, check out. This lady decides to tell me her whole life story. And she breaks down crying. I'm sitting here like, I can't be insensitive, But so when I deal with that all the time, sometimes it's hard to say no because you don't want to be rude and somebody's in the middle of because people are drawn to certain things that you have and they need it. But it's like where's the balance between saying no and helping?
So I have those moments, but even when I have those moments, I call that entertaining an angel, right? And you just don't know it. Like that's
it's
been
a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, you could just. I mean, right? Yeah, come on. Because you never know what people need.
Yeah,
like you truly don't know what people need and what people are going through. Like you be like, well, I'm going through all this, but they probably somebody going through something way worse than what you going through.
But I notice it's usually when I'm at my most peaceful state, when I'm in a good space. I do not I don't get nearly as much as somebody pulling on me and needing something from me. It is when I am going through my worst whatever. Yeah. And I think God uses those moments to help us realize, first of all, your stuff is not as bad as you think it is. And then when you're focused on helping somebody else, and sometimes when you help somebody else, you find your answer in that.
Correct.
There's your solution right there in the middle of that.
The best ways I found answers was when I first got saved and I didn't know what I was going to do. I was fresh on probation. I was fresh out of jail. I was fresh lots of the time. I was fresh sobering up. I was fresh. I know what I'm saying. But I literally just put my head down because I didn't feel like rapping because I knew I couldn't keep doing what I was doing. And just a whole bunch of life was just crumbling down. Like if mama called me, hey, you need to move out of that apartment because you ain't doing right in that apartment.
You were like that scene on like dog dead, crop dead, dead, mama died. Anybody else want me to read the map? No.
And literally what it was, she's like, you need to move here, move in with grandma. Like it was like a bunch of everything.
One thing after
But I did that to myself though. I did that to me. I take full responsibility for that.
Yeah,
I reap what I sowed. And so I just found myself in the place where what I did was I just started working in ministry. Whatever they need, I was there. I was there 24/7. I was there. But as I kept working, I started noticing like, oh, my life is starting to get a little bit back on track. It took 7 years to get my life back on track because it took about 7 years. to get everything, to get my life back in order in some type of shape. And then another 7 plus years after that to get some new focus and finish up what we had started before. But yeah, I started serving them, man. When you start serving and start helping others, because that's what we're designed for, you start serving, helping others, then your own problems will work out. They got to the point, like, I am a car. People ask me, can you bring Cessa over to this building? I don't have a car. Well, we know you can do it. I said, huh? Like the faith that they had in me, just knowing that I could do it. Yeah, okay, I can. Like, that's what made me know. Like, when my kids have stuff, Dad, you gonna do this, that, that. So you believe I can do that? I believe you can do that. Okay, then.
Like catch a wild rabbit.
Yeah, catch a wild rabbit.
Oh my gosh, I was still laughing about that the other day.
We see wild rabbits all week. I said, man, they're gonna rabbit.
So, see, that's your sign. Go catch one.
I ain't catching
Bare hands and
I ain't
everything.
catching that.
Come here, little bunny.
I ain't catching
No.
that. Look, no, I'm good.
Do it for the kids, G.
I ain't doing that for no kids. Like Lo said, forget them kids. I said that one time in the crowd. I said that one time. Everybody just looked at me. Are you for real? I mean, you don't mean in a bad way. Forget them kids. Them kids ain't paying no bill. I want a resort. That's what I want.
Now, see, that's real, though. That's real. Because I'm that mama, too. Y'all better go somewhere. And then as soon as I'm away from them for long periods of time, where they, hey, baby, who you at? You come home?
Yeah.
You know?
Now go
Like,
home
it's
and
all
ask
love. It's all love.
They ain't buying that. That's what I'm saying. But on that note right there, because we're not going to run long.
Oh, no.
We ain't going to do that. 8 hours later. This has been Indieboxkart Media for creators by creators.
Big free, man trying to live these dreams. Let the rooftop scream for me.